Hello, guys. Welcome to the podcast where we friends discuss about the global event in context of India. Today we are discussing a topic which affects all Indians, actually mostly white collar Indians and India as a whole. So the
Affect all Indians indirectly, maybe not directly.
indirectly, yeah, exactly. So the main crux of the matter is on September 19th, White House issued a executive order, which basically the key provisions are $100,000 fee for new H1B visa, meaning any H1B visa which you will apply after September 21 must be accompanied by $100,000 payment to the US government. So this is a major factor, major something which affects uh, people in India as a whole. Uh, so, Nimish, as you're staying in out of India, so explain to us how the system works. What is H1B visa, and why it is so important for Indians?
Yeah, so this created chaos, this new executive order. So H1B is essentially a white collar job visa. So if somebody wants to work in the US, they need a work visa. And there are different kinds of work visa. One of them is H1B, which is like the main category of visa that people used to move to the US for jobs. There are other visas, but they are minor categories and only applicable in some exceptional cases. Some, uh, yeah, not in all scenarios. So H1B is the general visa, is the main route to go to the US on job for a job. It's a white collar thing because there is a minimum salary requirement. So the person should be making some certain limit of salary to be able to eligible for the H1B visa. So not everyone, so you can't really apply for H1B for yeah, blue collar workers or low wage kind of jobs. So uh, it said that US really uh, is making progress and it's innovative and it's churning out tech companies after tech companies because of this visa. This is like the golden
Golden Goose.
uh, golden bullet for US. Like it has this superpower, like soft superpower that it uses, which attracts talent from all over the world. So it's not so this new executive order does not just affect Indians; it affects everyone. But it disproportionately affects Indians because I think 70% of
Yeah,
visas given every year are given to Indians.
Indians.
So
Yeah,
yeah, so it mostly is targeting Indians. And if you look at all the discourse around this topic, it's Americans targeting Indians, Americans discussing
India.
about Indians. So it's yeah. So the current mood in the US is that because of this visa, the American white collar workers are being displaced. So they are basically laid off to hire cheaper workers from India. Yeah, H1B has this minimum limit that you should be earning to be eligible for the H1B visa, but that's still too low than the actual market wages of these jobs. So companies would fire somebody making X amount, some American making X salary, and then hire an Indian making at 0.8x salary, which will still be above the H1B bar. Um, so that's the current that's what the Americans think that's happening, and it's displacing white collar American workers. That's their feeling. Um, so now the executive order, as you said, is now applying 100,000 fees on top of the existing fees that they have. The existing fees is minor; it's like £1,000, $1,000 or something, but now it's $100,000, which is like really high.
Products.
Yeah, and the details were also not very clear when this order was released to public. So there was a lot of
Yeah,
chaos. Like you might have seen Indian people getting off of planes traveling to India. Like they were sitting in the
Exactly.
plane and then they heard this news and they got off the plane fearing that they may not be able to enter the US after their trip to India. So there was a lot of confusion, but I think now the details are a bit clear and it's not as draconian as
Hmm.
it looked in the first appearance. So yeah, there are many exemptions in this executive order where the fees will not be applied. One of the big exemption is that if you're already in the US
Hmm.
on a student visa, for example, then and then if you switch to H1B, then it's a change of status. You're already on some F1 visa, a student visa, or some kind of a visa, and then you apply for a job, and then you're changing from a student status to the employee status, and that is exempted. So that I think that is the normal path for Indian folks to go to the US. They go for masters
Yeah.
as student, and then they as students, and then they switch to H1B eventually. So that path is still open. So that is not impacted. The path that is impacted is the Indian IT services jobs. So all the Indian IT companies like Infosys and Wipro and TCS and so on, they send people from India to work in the US on site. So
So,
that is mainly through
I
H1B.
I have a question regarding this. So, who
Mm.
H1B employee? So, suppose I want to apply suppose some who employ these people? US company or Indian company?
An American registered company has to can apply for H1B visa for their employees.
So how is that Indian companies are? I don't.
No, but
Can you explain?
they have registered offices in the US, right? So they're operating in the US as well. The same way, say
Okay.
Microsoft is also operating in India, right? They're
Okay.
employing people in
Okay.
India. So they're an
Okay.
employer in India as well. The same way, Infosys is also an employer
Hmm.
in the US. So they have registered their offices there, and it's like any other company, right? Their
Okay.
headquarters is in India. They're listed in
Hmm.
India, but they can operate in
Yeah.
the US as well. They can have offices there. So
Okay.
they
Got
can,
it.
so if they have offices there, they're an employer there and they can apply for H1B. Um, so yeah, that's the typical route. What they do is they have the large portion of the team in India. So say there are 8, 10 people. So out of those 10 people, 8 people will be in India and they will send 2 people on site to work closely with the client. So those 2 people basically take all the requirements and they negotiate with the clients, deal with the clients, and they send all the work to the team in India
Okay.
who actually do the job. Um, so for those 2 people who are going from India to the US to deal with clients, they
Hmm.
go on H1B typically. And
Okay.
yeah, that route is now no longer available. It's
But
available, but you have to pay $100,000.
yeah, 100,000. Yeah. 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 Got it.
Yeah. So what may happen is that these companies will just hire an American to deal with the clients there. But the bulk of the team will still be in India and the work will happen in India. But now
Yeah.
somebody from the US will be the link between the rest of the team in India and the American client. So I think the companies will go on, they will continue doing what they're doing. So I think their revenues may not be seriously impacted. Okay, now we're paying slightly more for an American worker than what you would have paid for an Indian worker, but they're yeah, they will just continue doing what they're doing. But now Indians will not be able to go to the US via this route.
Yeah. It will be costly to them, right?
Yeah, it will be
Tax
costlier
cost.
for them. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So the majority of the impact, I think, we will.
It will be, yeah, in the IT sector. Yeah. So this executive order specifically says that this fee only applies to people who are outside of the US at the time, at the application of the H1B. So it basically targets these IT companies indirectly. So all these big companies like the Google and the Nvidia and the Apple of yeah in the US, they don't hire directly from India normally. They hire master's students from the US, Indians who have studied
Yeah.
and did their masters there. they will continue
Exactly.
to do that, so they won't be impacted. So all the American companies who are hiring right now, the Indian students, they will continue to do that. So I don't think it's as draconian as it looked.
Yeah,
It looked
it
in
was
the
made
first
made to
time.
be, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's yeah. I think
It's
Indians
okay.
will
It's
still
okay. Yeah,
continue to go
yes,
to the US.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, some things, yeah, some things are affected, but not that affected. That's what I also feel.
Yeah. So people were hoping that because of this, now Indians will stop migrating to the US and we will retain talent within the country. But I think that's not going to happen. People will still travel for studies, and then that route is still there. So that is not impacted at all.
Yeah, actually, if we look at the history of the US, the US wasn't country of immigrants, right? Before the after the during the World War, I think Jews came, and after that, I think many Chinese, Indian, and Asian people came, and the innovation cycle continued, right? So I think the US is going to, if it goes forward in that part, for the for the complete stoppage of immigration, I think US will be killing its golden goose, the goose which lays golden egg.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I think
because Chinese are not staying in the US, right? They are studying in the US, but working, then going to work in China. And
yeah.
if China and Indians are not staying, then I think it's very uh, tough for the US to get that culture of innovation, right? Because because from India, usually the cream de la cream of the India usually go to US, right? So that's also
Yeah.
an issue. So I think the reverse brain drain might happen soon. What do you think?
No, it won't. As I said, um,
Yeah,
that H1B route is
in
still
this
there.
case,
In
yeah,
case US,
yeah,
yeah, actually becomes crazy and actually
crazy, yeah,
brings a draconian law, then yeah, then people will just move back, or people will just move to other countries. I think we Indians are
yeah,
still
huh,
very,
yeah,
yeah, we want to move out for some reason by hook or crook. So we will find a way to move out to
exactly.
some other country. But yeah,
I think.
I think uh, you brought up China, and I think as soon as US released this executive order, China also released. They also released a new kind of visa, which is similar to H1B. So China is trying to attract all the people who won't be able to go to the US now to
Oh.
China. To so they have, I think they have just this week after that executive order was released, they released some K2 visa or something like that. So yeah, China is trying to make use of this opportunity and trying to attract people to China. But I don't think they need more people. I think they have all the talent they need already. So I'm not sure. Otherwise, they would
Yeah,
have
because
already started a visa like this before if they really need people. If they really needed people, I don't think they need more people.
exactly.
Yeah,
Because they have comparable population to India, right? So they
yeah,
will have comparable engineers or scientists, uh, at
yeah,
least more, yeah, if not less.
yeah. And if they really want to attract some really cream talent, they can do it. I think they would have some visa right now, right? They don't need an H1B style visa.
I
They would
think
have
I
some
think
visa
they
that
have.
can
I
cream
think
talent.
they have some. I think talent poaching something. They
Yeah.
give additional perks, and I think, yeah. But
Yeah,
I
no,
think
I think
that's for that's
there
for
would be
Chinese national, right?
a
Yeah,
route as well, like a visa as well for those
yeah,
kind of green talent already.
exactly.
Of course, they would have to pay a lot more to attract these people to China, but
Mm,
there should already be a path to work in
mm,
China.
exactly.
Yeah.
Do you think that this whole H1B saga is related to the latest India US camaraderie, trade war, and Modi going to China? Is it a negotiation tactic? Do you think?
It's possible. Yeah, it's possible that yeah, Trump is. I think Trump was anti-immigrant from a long time,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
and he was always complaining about H1B visas. I think it's not a new thing. Maybe I think this is the right time for him to do something like this because already the relations with India are a bit sour.
yeah,
And
exactly. आपदा में अवसर.
yeah, so yeah, it could be a negotiating tactic as well. Like if the trade deal, this could be the trade negotiation. Like if you give us favorable deal, India, then we will take this back. We will roll this back.
But
Could be.
I think India should also put pressure right hurts bring out some data localization laws and all.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we do have something like that already. Some data localization thing where the data is supposed to be in
Actually,
India.
the bill was raised and put up for public opinion, but it was never
Ah,
tabled.
oh,
So
okay.
I think the government will table soon.
Yeah,
I think
yeah, I
it's my
think we will do
prediction.
something like that. Yeah, it's going to happen. Was there any progress on the trade deal negotiations? Are there any news there, or it's
No,
still
no,
ongoing?
no. Yeah, it's ongoing. I think.
Yeah. So
Even the trade discussion is ongoing. That's a good thing, right? It's not totally stopped. So that's
yeah,
also progress.
yeah, yeah.
I
As long
think
as
I think
it's
the
we are discussing, we are talking. I think that's good.
I think the main point where uh, we can't give any things to US is the agriculture sector. Like
Mm.
that's the Achilles heel for us. So the US is pushing on that. So because due to the trade lobby of the US agriculture and that kind of thing. So yeah, that it's a tough cookie to crack. I think the India has a India is also negotiating with EU, right? And it's also, I think, going smoothly. So
Negotiating for what with the EU?
EU
For
trade
trade deal?
deal, yeah.
Ah, okay, okay.
UK, UK already signed. India already
Yeah,
signed the deal with
okay.
UK, right?
Yeah.
So I think the majority of Western hemisphere, Western countries are will be in the loop. Only US will remain. So
Mm.
yeah, US is also I think majority market for many players. So it's an important country. But let's see.
So right now, because we don't have a deal, that 50% tax or whatever that
Yeah,
thing is,
yeah, 40%
it's
tariff.
being applied.
Yeah,
Tariff is being
yeah.
applied right now. It's active. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I think some companies, what was that? Some postal companies, they stopped sending posts to the US
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of this tax. Indian
That's
Post?
yeah. I think that's the different. Actually there's a clause called de minimis clause. I think below the $800 value, there is no import duty in the US. So the US also removed that clause. So
Mm.
even the below $800 product will be taxed.
Wow.
So that the US postal so Indian Post stopped the uh, postal services to US. So
Mm.
that's I think yeah, that's the issue.
Yes, all
But
of these will have to
but
be resolved. Regarding the
yeah,
H1B thing, I
yeah.
think I will say one thing. The industrial lobby there will never allow draconian laws. Like they really rely on the Indian workers there.
Mm.
So they will always have this kind of exceptions that if students are already in the US, then they can switch to H1B and so on. So they will always keep some path alive. Um, those companies don't hire from India directly anyway. So they will, yeah, so they will never allow even Trump to completely cut uh, any path for migration.
Yeah, but
And
many companies, many of these companies directly hire from India, right? From the ITs and
very rarely, very rarely. I
really.
think the majority of hiring is from the US, is the masters, people who are doing masters there. Majority are those folks. Like very rarely they hire one or two people, and that too, all of these companies have offices in India now. They hire
Yeah.
for their Indian offices, not for the US office directly from India. So
Okay.
it's very
Okay.
rare that they hire directly for the US office.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
And for those kind of people, like if they really need the cream top talent, they'll be able to pay $100,000 fees. Like these companies, for them, maybe they'll pay slightly less bonus to the those cream talent and still hire them with hundred by paying $100,000 fees.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
coming back to the
a
topic.
bit disappointing, I would say. I would say
Bit
a bit
disappointing.
disappointing. I was hoping that the brain drain would stop because of this, but it's not going to stop.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the brain drain will stop to some extent, but not fully, right? The tap will not be closed totally. Some, yeah, some minor brain drain will be sorted out. I don't know. Maybe if you want to go, you want to go, right? You will make a way.
I think
Ah,
the Infosys and TCS kind of talent that is going on H1B. I
hmm.
think we have a lot of talent pool for that kind of talent. So I won't really worry about
Yeah.
that brain drain. I think the bigger brain drain is the people who are going for the masters there, and then they're really taking the US education and really becoming good engineers. And then if they don't come back, that's the big brain drain, according to me.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah,
that
exactly.
won't stop. Yeah.
I recently saw the German ambassador's video. They are urging Indians uh, who are I think who will not be able to join the H1B visa program. He is inviting them to Germany. Uh, so I
Yeah.
think some doors are open, some are
Yeah.
closed, some are
I
open.
think that's what like people will just move to other countries. They will not move to the US. They will go to Australia or UK or Germany. Germany is also simplifying some other laws for citizenship and PR and so on for to attract more talent. So I think they are in need of an H1B kind of a visa where they can easily hire folks from abroad. Yeah. There must be some visa like that in Germany as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, there is, but German society is very like very monolithic, right? Not like US. US there are so many melting pot of culture, right? US, I think since the century, the immigrants are coming to US, so it's becoming their core. Yeah,
yeah, it's a land of immigrations. Yeah.
London immigration. Yeah,
Yeah, I think even Irish and Italians and those folks migrated in 19th
yeah,
century. So
yeah,
people have been
exactly.
migrating
Hmm.
from a very long time. Germans, Germany is not monolithic as such. Like there are Turkish people there because of the after World War II, many Turkish people moved to Germany, and there are in general also immigrants from other European countries and so on. So it's not very monolithic, but still it's more monolithic than the US for sure. Like
Yeah,
I think there's no other country as diverse as the US. Even Canada is not as diverse as the US. The US is really very diverse. Um, Germany has a lot of refugees, but I think they want
yeah.
now H1B kind
Germany
of talent. They want to,
whole
yeah,
EU has a refugee, right?
yeah. Germany wants to close the borders for refugees, but maybe open the borders for H1B kind of talent. Uh, but I think eventually nobody likes immigrants nowhere. So I think if that goes too far, even Germans will start opposing immigration.
Exactly,
Yeah, UK is already opposing immigration, so all countries, yeah, they invite immigrants until a certain level, but beyond that, it's yeah, nobody likes foreigners. Yeah.
exactly. So, any other implication which you have not discussed? Uh, what about the green card issue? Will this affect the green card holders?
Maybe it
No,
will
right?
become a bit. So there is a long wait list right now for green card because there are so many H1Bs, and it's only becoming worse and worse. So every year there are more and more students coming to the US and more H1Bs and so on. So it has only gotten worse. if fewer people go on H1B to the US now, maybe the green card queue will become shorter and people may get green card earlier than the wait times that they're facing right now. Right now, it's more than 20, 30 years. Like it's really long. For people who applied for 2020 or who applied in 2022, like recently, their wait time is like 30 years. Yeah, so it's crazy. So maybe that will become shorter now, but who knows?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, do you want to add anything, Nimish, or shall we close this topic?
No, I think that's enough. We can move to the next topic.
So, next topic, Nimish, what else do you want to discuss?
Yeah, there was this Palestine statehood recognition thing that's going on this week. I think many countries in the Europe have now officially recognized Palestine. Um, UK, many EU countries, France, Germany, Belgium, Canada, Australia, I think as well. Many other countries in EU, they have all now recognized Palestine. Um, so that brings so far, I think already many countries have recognized Palestine as an independent state. So it's not a new thing. But now all the allies of the US. So I think so far
Yeah,
the Western allies, all the NATO countries, and those though they have not recognized Palestine so far. But now that's changing, and all these Western powers have also recognized Palestine. So we have recognized Palestine. India has recognized Palestine since 1988, I think.
yeah.
So
I think the two-state solution, right? Uh,
yeah, just the statehood of Palestine. Like Palestine is a
Solution.
state, it's a separate state from Israel. Yeah, two-state
Yeah,
solution.
Israel and Palestine, two-state solution. Yeah,
Yeah, so now everybody is trying for two-state solution. Even the Western powers have been trying for that. So it's not a new thing, but nobody has officially recognized in the Western world. They have not officially recognized Palestine as a state.
okay.
We did that. So we were one of the first non-Arab countries to do that in 1988. And we have been consistent with that approach. Like in every UN voting and every resolution, we always vote for Palestine statehood and against Israel settlement there. So we, like every other foreign policy, we walk on a tightrope here. We do the balancing act and we are friends with Israel, but we also recognize Palestine and
Palestine.
we somehow managed to handle this seemingly inconsistent logic in our foreign policy. Uh,
Exactly.
yeah, so it looks like I don't know what will change after this. So now I think 150 countries, basically, this brings us to 150 countries recognizing Palestine as a state. Uh, US haven't, and I don't think they will recognize anytime in the near future. Um, I think there are some conditions, though. I think some of the countries have said that the hostages
Yeah,
have to be returned.
oxygen. Mm.
Yeah. So there are some conditions with this recognition. I think this has implications on the relevance of Hamas. If, like, Palestine is recognized as a state, and if a proper political system emerges because of that, that will maybe make Hamas irrelevant. But it's hard to imagine how this will happen because all the top leadership in Palestine right now are in
I think
Hamas.
Hamas will be the political leadership, like the Taliban took over Afghanistan.
Yeah, so I think that will happen unless an alternative emerges.
Yeah,
Hamas will become the de facto political party there, political system there. There was this PLO before.
yeah,
Um, who was the leader? What's the name? That
yeah. He was a leader in exile, right?
Yeah, the leader of PLO, the Palestine Liberation
Mm,
Organization, the one with heads, that Arab head scarf, headgear.
yeah,
Um, anyway, Arafat. Which Arafat? Yeah, somebody named Arafat. Uh, I should remember his name. He was a famous person. So I think he even went. So there was this big negotiation with Israel in the US during Bill Clinton's time. Bill Clinton uh, facilitated this negotiation between Israel and PLO, and Arafat was representing PLO, and there was someone from Israel, and they were very close to a deal of first two-state recognition. And one of the uh, asks from Palestine was to take control of Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. They wanted that part to
Okay.
be within Palestine, and
Okay.
that was not Israel was not okay with that. Everything else was okay. Everything else was settled. But Arafat basically, so yeah, Arafat had to choose between Al-Aqsa Mosque and a statehood and a proper Palestinian state. And he chose Al-Aqsa Mosque. Like he said, like nobody will basically support with my decision. Nobody, if he is not recognized as a leader, if he even if he agrees for the
Yeah.
Palestinian statehood, but nobody in Palestine or in the Arab world agrees with him, then his agreement is not really meaningful, right? So even if he said, I agree with this thing, I won't, nobody will support me, nobody will back me, and this agreement will fall apart once I go back. So there is no point in agreeing without the Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was the closest point that the world has reached to the Israel-Palestinian solution. And then PLO basically, after Arafat, the PLO fell apart and Hamas rose, and eventually I think Hamas became. I think some leaders from PLO might have started Hamas or something like that. I don't know the story, but yeah. So I think the Western world wants Palestinian statehood, but they don't want Hamas. They don't want to recognize Hamas. So they will do everything they can to make Hamas irrelevant and try to foster an alternative political solution in Palestine.
Exactly. So,
It's kind of, it's
what,
very tough
what,
though.
what? Yeah, it's very tough. What do you think is the recent change of hearts in the Western nation for those uh, acceptance of Palestine as a state? Do you think that? Yeah. What do you think is the reason?
I think everybody is now just shocked at the things happening in Gaza. I think Israel has gone too far there,
Yeah.
and countries want to show their support for Palestine in some way, some form. Uh, because they have been discouraging Israel diplomatically, but nothing is working. So they wanted to maybe send a stronger signal that we are with Palestine in this war, something like that, because everybody feels Israel has gone too far. But again, like I think it's very difficult for Israel to de-escalate until the hostage situation is resolved completely. As long as there are
Mm.
hostages in Gaza, Israel can't just agree to ceasefire or stop
Yeah.
everything, right? So they have
Exactly.
to keep doing something, and that keeps getting escalated and escalated, and things are just getting worse and worse.
Yeah. It's getting worse, right? Many children are killed, right?
Yeah,
Children.
the I think the situation in Gaza is very bad. I think
Terrible.
it's uh,
It's
it's,
terrible.
it's it's closer to a famine, like they're out of food
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
people are just dying of hunger, if not of Israel strikes and so on. So yeah, at some point humanity should win, right? This is not
Yeah.
happening. At some point things should de-escalate and get resolved, and uh, there will be fair points on from both the parties. Like Israel has a fair point about hostages that they want to get hostages back, but still, like there is a limit to the atrocities that you can do to resolve the
Exactly.
situation. So yeah, I think it's getting out of control and nobody is really in charge. Trump tried to do something, and then after Trump said there will be a ceasefire. After a few hours of that, Israel and Hamas were again fighting. Again, there were like bombing happening and so on. So there is this clip from Trump where he's saying that they don't know what the fuck they are doing, or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that was for I think Israel and Iran. That was Israel and Iran. That thing was for that. But
Yeah. Yeah. That
essentially,
thing.
Israel doesn't listen to the US the way Trump thinks that Israel will listen. So Trump is not in control. Trump can't really de-escalate here. Israel just
Trump
does
is
whatever.
not in control, and Trump also don't want anything against Israel, right? They can't do anything which affects Israel in a negative way because
I think
yeah,
ceasefire won't impact Israel in the negative way as long as he finds a solution for the hostages. There's
yeah,
nothing negative happening in Israel right now, right? It's a one way. It's completely tilted towards Gaza getting destroyed or ceasefire. It's not like there are three options: Israel getting destroyed, ceasefire, or Gaza getting destroyed. Israel is not getting destroyed at all. It's just ceasefire or Gaza getting destroyed. These are
exactly,
the two solutions.
exactly.
So if Trump does anything, it will always be pro-Gaza. It won't be anti-Israel in any way, except for hostages. Yeah,
Hmm.
if hostages are not, there are still some hostages in Gaza, and if that is not resolved, then there is some loss on the Israeli part. Uh, but I think, yeah, Israel doesn't care anymore. They are bombing Qatar, right? So where there
Yeah,
is
they're
a US
bombing
base.
Qatar, they're bombing civilian areas. Actually, earlier I think that the when the Hamas attacked Israel, right? The I think some beach event, right?
Yeah,
And they retaliated. I think that was okay, but
yeah,
they have crossed. I think this time they have crossed the line. I think children and unarmed people are being killed in masses. Not even one, two, hundreds of
yeah,
thousands of people. I
yeah.
think
They are not discriminating between citizens and
yeah, and Hamas. Yeah,
terrorists and so on.
exactly.
So if there is some terrorist somewhere, they will try to bomb him, try to kill him, and they are
Yeah,
not careful. They don't care anymore about civilian casualty in that process. They'll just bomb the building.
yeah,
They
exactly,
don't care who
exactly.
dies. Um, I think, yeah, the retaliation from Israel after that October 7 attack
Yeah,
made sense. Like they have
makes
to do
sense. Yeah.
something. They can't just not do anything because there were a lot of hostages back then in Gaza, so they had to do
Mm.
something. But there should be a route to de-escalation, right? Like somebody should, yeah, somebody should make both the parties realize that this is not going to end if it continues this way. So something has to happen. Somebody has to convince Hamas to return the hostages, and somebody has to convince Israel to stop bombing. Um,
Exactly.
but I'm surprised nobody's able to do that. Like,
Yeah.
isn't this like maybe there are no back channels to Hamas anymore, but there should be it should be able to convey possible to convince Hamas to return hostages,
Maybe
no? Like
maybe they killed all the hostages.
that's possible as well. But that if that's the case, I don't think there's any point in continuing to
Yeah,
bomb
exactly.
Gaza. If hostages have died already, what's the end? What's the end goal then of this whole
Exactly.
bombing? Like, what
Exactly.
do you want to achieve? Um, yeah, do you want to kill everyone in Gaza? If that's the end goal, that's a very bad end goal to pursue, I think.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
very odd. That's more akin to what Hitler did to Jews, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's a genocide of some form,
yeah.
right? You want
It's a
to
genocide. Yeah,
clean a land of some people. That's genocide. That's the definition of
genocide.
genocide, right? You want to clean some race. Um, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even think Israel knows what its
End
end
goal
goal
is
is. Yeah.
exactly.
But yeah, let's see what this recognition of Palestine changes. I don't think it will change much. I don't think it will bring. It just sends a signal to Israel, but
Well, it's a welcome step, but still,
it's a welcome step. Yeah, it's a welcome step. At least it's a stronger signal than just diplomatically telling Israel to stop. It's a welcome step. People are doing something. Yeah.
yeah.
But
Other than that,
I,
it will not change I think the direction of the war, right?
no, it won't. I don't think it will. Yeah.
Won't.
I think only it's hard to imagine, but I think only Trump can solve this. I do
Exactly.
believe only US can solve this, and
Only
US
US
is
can solve it.
under Trump right now, so only Trump can solve this, I think. Because Arab countries are also not able to negotiate with Israel. I don't think Saudis
Exactly.
and Iran, definitely there is no chance, but even Saudis and Qatar, and they are not able to, they won't be able to bring both the parties together on the same table
Yeah.
and try to foster some negotiation. Yeah.
So, Nimish, do you want to add anything this topic?
No, I think we can just wait and watch and see how this situation develops. Hopefully, things will
Mm,
get resolved. I think, yeah,
exactly.
everybody loses in such kind of wars. There is no party winning. I think even Israel,
Exactly.
yeah, it will have too much blood on its hand eventually.
So, let's close this topic, right?
Yep.
Do you have to discuss anything else? Or shall we close this podcast?
No, I think that's enough. Short and sweet. We have a 40-minute short podcast. I think the shortest of our episodes so far. Hopefully, more
Exactly.
people will watch because of that. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right.
Okay. So,
Okay.
Mish,
See
let's
you next
meet
week.
next week. Bye bye. Good night.
Bye bye.